Hey everybody, it's Thorpian, and I'm coming at you today with a new and exciting video about Hypixel's brand new garden update. So first off, garden update, super cool. You can build giant farms, you have like little collection quests, there's farming stuff, you get more farming fortune, there's a whole set. But what I want to talk about today is this awesome new feature that they've put in where you can copy and paste plots. This allows us to make absolutely insanely massive farms, as you can see here, that you can then repeat and make again without putting any more effort in, which I think is absolutely awesome. In fact, this can go up to like 5x5 plots. Like this is one plot. It's nuts. Anyway, super cool, and I wanted to show you guys how I think the best way to build these plots is. This is going to be like a pretty simple-ish way, and it's going to allow you to build every kind of farm except mushroom. I'll talk a little bit about mushroom, but it's kind of separate from this method. So is Nether Wart, but Nether Wart's just super simple of a farm to build anyway. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. Real quick, I wanted to apologize to those of you who caught some of my last live streams. Don't know what happened to my audio input. My computer decided to forget that it existed, and I just went back and listened to those, and it hurt my ears to listen to. So sorry, my bad. I fixed it now. Took me 3 tries recording this video, so please leave me a like and subscribe for my awesome dedication. All right, cool. So anyway, let's talk about these farms. So if you've never been to the garden before, first thing you're going to have to do is talk to Sam. You're going to have to do some quests. You're going to have to clear a plot, blah, 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 blah. Not the point of this video. There's plenty of people out there who are going to do welcome to the garden guides. I want to show you how to build an awesome farm. So you're going to come to this desk thing here. You're going to go to configure plots, and you're going to have however many plots open that you have available. 1, 2, 3 if you're just starting out, maybe just 1 if you're really, really starting out. And what I want to show you is that it's really cool when you can line these up. So if you have 3 in a row, you can actually connect these plots together. And I'll show you how to do that during the video. I did it for a couple of mine. So anyway, let's start with talking about this preset mechanism. So let's, I'm going to grab some seeds. I don't have any seeds. I'm going to buy some seeds just so I can show you. We're not going to have a lot of seeds in this farm, but you're going to be able to kind of see the idea. So the idea is that you can kind of paste in either these presets, or you can make your own presets, and it'll just literally paste in the farm like this. Now, the presets are okay. They're great for starting out. They're good for like getting your first crops, like your first harvest, whatever it is you want to do. But eventually you're going to get to the point where you want to build honkers of a farm and not this little rinky-dinky, not great optimized setup that they have going for you. So how are you going to do that? Well, this video will explain it all, A to Z, start to finish, best farm designs in Minecraft, Hypixel, Skyblock, etc. So here we go. Let's start with wheat. So the first thing you're going to do is I was actually start with the preset. So I'd start with this wheat preset, literally any preset, it doesn't even matter. But the first one you're going to have access to is wheat, so you're probably going to want to start with the wheat preset. And you are going to do 2 things. Number 1 is you are going to break all of this spruce, which we're going to do as soon as it's done pasting. So you're going to break all this spruce because you do not need to separate this stuff. In fact, if you look over here, I have no spruce because then I can just fly across my farm and casually farm it without worrying about this getting in the way. Second thing you're going to do is you are going to fill in all of this water. Yes, I know you're going to have to remake water holes later, and honestly, I think it's worth it because if you look over here, you'll see this little edge here. So these little blocks, you can get rid of them. And this will allow you, when you can copy and paste your plots together, to make a whole farm that is 100% connected. So I'm going to show you how I did that over here. So this is a pumpkin farm, and I literally put 2 together right at this intersection of this plot, and they just can casually farm across without any issues. And you can do that up to 5 plots long. And that's like 500 blocks of farm, guys. That's a lot. And so that's really cool. But anyway, aside for now, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're getting rid of this spruce. You're going to get rid of these cobblestone, whatever crap on the side. You'll notice over here, there's this like 2-layer wall. The wall that's on this side is for this plot. The wall that's on this side is for this plot, so obviously we can only break this wall, right? And you're gonna replace this cobble with dirt. You're gonna place all the water with dirt, and then you're gonna end up with a slightly larger farm, but more importantly, because it doesn't have these weird in-between gappity gaps, they're connectable plots. And that's gonna be a big deal as you start to build out your farms, in my opinion. So we're gonna break all this, and we're gonna end up with basically a floor of dirt. A lot of this dirt is gonna unfortunately be plowed. Now, here's where the absolute coolest part of this update comes in. Now, I know that you guys are like, oh, farms, garden, armor sets, I don't know, museums, lore, whatever the heck it is you're interested in. There's cool stuff, but I think the best part of this update is this builder's ruler. And why? Because if you're building farms, it's actually incredible. What this builder's ruler allows you to do is it allows you to place or break a line of blocks. So that allows you to do something like placing this glowstone in one click. I mean, 2 clicks if you consider that you have to build a little something underneath of it because you can only place on top. But potato, potato, you can place it really, really fast. So what that allows you to do is, like, if you were to take this, you take your builder's ruler, and you're gonna put an infinite dirt wand in there, which, by the way, compatible, totally awesome. Right click, and you're gonna have a line of dirt. So you can then grand architect this if you have a builder's wand, but a builder's wand is like 12 million coins, right? So nobody has access to all that. A builder's ruler is 20 copper, which is really easy to get, or like 20 coins. So you can easily get this item, and it allows you to build really big structures very easily. And if you shift right click, boom, all the blocks are gone, and now you have dirt instead of cropland if you want it. You don't actually need to do that at any point for any of the farms we're building, but just so you know. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pretend that we went ahead and cleared this out, and for the sake of my demonstration, I actually have already put water onto these. I do not recommend that you do this, so don't start with water. I want this to be completely dirt, and I will show you why as we kind of go through. So the next thing that you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna grab some dirt. So I have here a stack of dirt, and we're gonna build dirt layers. Now this looks like a lot of farm and a pain in the butt to do, but here's what I want you to know. You only have to do it once, and you can copy and paste it 1,000 times if you want. I have a preset. I literally did not build this. I clicked a button and it was there after I had already built it once over here and saved it. So I don't want you to have this water. So the first thing you're going to do is a full dirt floor, and you're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks up. 5th block, you're going to make another dirt floor. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks up. 5th block, you're going to make another dirt floor. Now for the starter farms, you can technically do 3 blocks, right? So if you want, you can build 3 blocks up and then do a floor. But in order to be able to build all of the farms with a single template, this is the recommendation I have for you, that you do 4 and then 5. And you're like, but no, Thorpian, I can't fit as many farms. It's fine. 3 of these farms, so 3 layers of the 1 plot farm. Remember, there are 25 total plots. 3 layers is enough to farm a crop infinitely. I overdid it, and I'm actually going to move the sweet farm over to that giant potato farm so that I can have just 1 farm for carrot, wheat, and potato. It's insane. All right, so, and that's because the growth rate is so much faster. So once you do this, you're going to have 9 dirt layers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Technically, you can fit a 10th dirt layer, but don't do it because you won't be able to put glowstone above it. You'll only have like 1 block of height left after that. So don't bother. 9 layers is the way to go. So 9 layers, 4 blocks apart, and you are not going to have these holes yet because you're going to have listened to Thorpian, and you're going to be really, really smart and just have a dirt floor. And I'll explain why you want to do that in a few minutes. So you're gonna have this giant just dirt floor all the way across, and then what you're going to do, now pay very close attention, then what you're gonna do is you are going to save it. So you are going to go to the desk, you're gonna hit configure plots, you're gonna click the plot that you care about, the one you're working on, and you're gonna hit save preset. A little anvil is gonna come up, and you are going to type in whatever name you want, dirt platforms, whatever you wanna call it, and save it. Because that's going to be your base for every single other farm that you want. Okay, so you're going to save your dirt platforms with your bottom all cleared out and nice and pretty looking, and then you're going to keep building on that preset, or you can, you know, save it, do it later. So next step, so once you have these 9 dirt floors and you have saved your dirt floors, you're going to go to any corner. So I'm going to go over to that corner just because that's the way I did it when I originally built this, because I started on a different like section. And you are going to count over 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now notice how these kind of look like they're overlapping. These are separate plots, and it can be a little hard to see exactly where your plot boundary is, especially for the ones that are bordering on plots you already have access to or that are bordering the middle section. For example, you can edit this middle section, so you can see here that I've plowed this, but it's not technically part of the plot, so I didn't plant it. So this is part of the middle section. And the way you can tell is when you have the double wall here, you can see where the wall ends. You also can see in the scoreboard which plot you're in. So now I'm in plot 1, now I'm in the garden. So plot 1 starts right here. All right, so then what you're gonna do, so back to over there, okay, you're gonna count over 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4 diagonal blocks, and on the 5th diagonal block, you're gonna make a hole. This hole is gonna be a 1 by 1 hole. Very simple, very straightforward. Then you're gonna count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and on the 9th block, another hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On the 9th block, another hole, and you're going to keep doing this all the way across. Now, if you've correctly cleared your plot, you're going to have exactly 1 extra dirt block at the end. Okay, now you can shift all of this over by a couple blocks towards this direction if you want. Doesn't make a difference. You'll be a little bit further away from the edges if you're into that, but it really doesn't matter for any farm that you're going to make. And then you're going to do the same thing in this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th block, make a hole, and you're going to make holes and a grid all the way across on your bottom floor. So just the bottom floor. Remember, this takes a long time, but you only do it once and you can reuse this as much as you want. Then what you're going to do is you are going to stand in one of your holes. You're going to look straight up and you're going to break you're going to break all of the dirt above you. And then you have 2 choices. You can either fall back down and go upwards again, or you can count over on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then break all the way down. And this will give you all of the water holes that you're going to need in order to keep your crops hydrated and allow them to grow as fast as possible. So you're going to do that for all of this, and you're going to end up with something that looks like this, where you have holes everywhere along the way. So now you have your holes for your water, but don't put your water in yet. Don't do it. I promise you, you do not want to put in your water yet, okay? And the reason for that is going to be very apparent because we have the builder's ruler, and it's going to make our lives incredibly easy. So I'm going to hop over to my handy dandy supplies page, and I'm going to put some glowstone into my builder's ruler. So what is that going to allow me to do? Well, if you'll notice, over all of these waters, and you can pick any direction you want. You can go north, south, you can go east, west, it doesn't matter, as long as you do it over the water holes. So we're going to do it here. So this is from this plot, and you're going to take your builder's ruler, you're going to fill it with glowstone, and you are going to right click in the direction you want it to go so that you have glowstone over the water holes or under the water holes. Key thing there, under the water holes on every floor in every spot. And you're going to get something that's going to look like this. So unplowed though, because you haven't plowed it yet. So you're going to have all of these lines of glowstone, and the way to build them, you just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then right click builder's ruler, right click builder's ruler. And you're going to do that all the way across. And then you're going to grab a tool called the infinite water bucket, which is going to make your life a lot easier, or the magical water bucket. And you're just going to go ahead and place water in all of your holes. So what that is going to give you is going to give you a field, or a 9-layer field that is fully lit, fully watered, and now the only thing left to do is to make sure that it becomes fully plowed. The easiest way to do that is to grab a hoe of greater tilling. This tills in a 5x5 area. You're going to right click and you can actually fly across and just hold down right click and it'll work. Why? Because it's a 5x5 area. Now, something to note is that you can not only fly, but you can control click while flying to allow you to fly faster. And this will work about 99% of the time without leaving any gaps. Every once in a while, you get like a 1-5 long gap that you're gonna have to fix. Remember, this is gonna take a long time, but you only have to do it once. And here, let me show you exactly what will happen once you are done. So once you're done this, you'll have saved your Dirt Alone preset. Please remember to do that. Don't be like me. Save your Dirt Alone preset. And then you're gonna go to your plot and you are going to have watered it, lighted it up, and plowed every level. And then you're gonna just save that preset as well. So if you see here, you can then paste that preset anywhere you want, and you will have a fully lit, fully watered, fully plowed field of 9 total things in the entire plot, which is pretty darn sweet, right? So, well, okay, Thorpian, but this doesn't have any crops yet. Yeah, I know. The one unfortunate thing is that it won't auto plant crops for you when you use a pre-made preset. So you have to actually go in and you have to have crops to use. So for example, I'm going to show you with carrots. So you're just going to go and you are going to right click. Oh, sorry, we're still pasting. So I'm going to show you down here. So you're going to go and you're just going to right click, and the seed basket of seeds, which you can get from the farming kind of contest stuff, is just going to plant all the way across. So that's going to allow you to plant your seeds, and that's the fastest and easiest way to plant by far. Now, if you don't have it, obviously you can manually plant, but that's just like, spend the time you need to get this any way you need to get it, because it's so much easier to plant that way. And now the basket of seeds works for everything, which is going to be so exciting when we get to our more complicated farms, which used to take like hours and hours of planting. I can't even tell you the number of cocoa beans and sugar canes I've planted. It's nuts. But I don't have to do it ever again, which is awesome. So, all right. So we're going to have, planting, and we can plant all the way across, and that's going to cover us for wheat, for carrots, and for potatoes. So that's going to be the same kind of way to do all of those, which is why you should save the plowed version so you can use it for all 3 of them. Now, in reality, you only actually need 1 farm for those. So you only need 1 like plot farm to have an infinite number of wheat, carrots, and potatoes. But that's besides the point. You should still save the plowed version because you can use it for pumpkin and melon. So how do I convert this farm into a pumpkin and melon farm with minimal effort? Easy. So we're gonna go to, we're gonna look at our farm. We're gonna grab any block we want. I'm gonna use quartz because, oh, you can't actually use quartz. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna use quartz. I'll use, what have I got? What have I got? Do I have anything like cheap? No? No good cheap blocks. All right, whatever, fine. Sack of sacks, mining, grab a stack of stone. So I'm gonna grab a stack of stone. I'm gonna use stone brick because then you'll kind of see where I'm coming with this. And you can either go with this glowstone, you can go opposite to this glowstone. It doesn't matter at all. But you're gonna stick your stone bricks into your builder's ruler, and you are going to put the stone bricks or whatever block you want on top of your water source. So all you have to do is just click at the end and it'll go over all of the blocks in your farm, and you're going to end up with something like this. So without the pumpkins, obviously. So you're going to see just farm, farm, and then you're going to go ahead and grab your basket of seeds. You're going to put pumpkin seeds in there, and you are going to plant them in the following pattern. So give me 1 sec. Let me grab some more pumpkin seeds. So you're gonna plant them here, 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 and here. And I don't have enough seeds there, but it's gonna be 1, 2 gap, 2, 2 gap, 1, and then you're gonna have more stones here. So what you're gonna end up with is something that's gonna look like this farm I have over here, but it'll be 1 plot instead of 2. Is gonna be just like this. Now, this is beautiful, it's a great way to farm. Some people prefer, so this is a matter of choice. If you wanna run straight down this line, you can. Some people prefer actually to have half slabs on top of one of the crops in the middle. And because that will allow them to kind of use this as a reference guide. So like here, you can go this way. And then this way you can like farm in the same direction always. If you're into that, and you can use it to like lean against to be able to do diagonally 2 at once. I honestly, I prefer just doing it without that, but if you do want to do that, here's how it's done. Again, you're going to use your handy dandy builder's ruler. You're going to stick your slabs into there. I don't want to actually place that many slabs because I don't want to break them. And then you just right click on top of this block and you'll be able to use your slabs like that. Now, something to note is that this will place all the way as far blocks you have and as far as you can build. So if you are facing a plot that you have access to, it will build into that plot. So you want to kind of do this on a boundary if you can, just to make your life much easier. So that's how you do melon and pumpkin. So those are exactly the same. You just plant a different seed. You just want the walls over your water sources, and then you plant in this pattern and you're good to go. And then you can add the half slab if you want to or not. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back. So you will have built all these plots however you wanted, and we're going to go back to our just dirt levels in order to build our other plots. Now these farms, the ones we're talking about, are going to be cactus, cocoa, and sugarcane. Sugarcane's a little bit trickier to build. It takes a little more time, but it could be done pretty quickly with the builder's ruler. Way, way faster than it used to be with the builder's wand. Nether Wart, I'll talk about Nether Wart here for a minute. Nether Wart's super simple. The exact same way you did these dirt layers, just do soul sand layers. And you can make them closer together if you want, because you're not going to need those plots for anything else. You don't need light, like it's super, super basic. You just make big platforms. And then I want to talk about how to harvest these in case you're wondering. So we're going to grab, well, I'm going to grab a sugarcane hoe because I'm a crazy person and use it on wheat. This has replenish, right? Oh, it does not, because sugarcane never needed replenish. Gasp. All right, fine, I'll grab my wheat hoe like a crazy person. All right, so then you just grab your wheat hoe and you just go 2 rows at a time and you just fly. So normal flight speed works out pretty well. You get to constantly break blocks. Some people prefer to like have 4 in a row and to have like a staggered thing. And that's great. Like if you want to build that farm, go for it. Like I think that's actually generally better in the long term, but it just takes so much longer to build. It's so much more complicated. And honestly, this breaks blocks just as fast. The only difference is you have to turn slightly more often. So if you're not into turning, yeah, it's not for you. But you can also extend this many, many plots long, and then you barely ever have to turn. So anyway, you'll miss crops, but that's fine, because the goal of the maximum speed farming is to always be breaking crops. And so every kind of like tick of action that you can, you'll be breaking a crop using 2 rows at a time. All right, so our plot's ready to go. So let's talk about the other farm designs. So the first one we're going to talk about is sugarcane. Sugarcane's a little annoying, and I'll show you why. The reason is that what you have to do is, if you are a smart person, remember, you smart people, you've saved your dirt platforms, so you're not going to have the same problem I'm going to have here in a second. And you're going to go ahead, and I like to leave a block on the outside when I'm doing sugarcane just for like water purposes. And you're going to break by shift right clicking, and then go 2 blocks over, break again, 2 blocks over, break again, 2 blocks over, break, so on and so forth. I think you can figure it out. And then what you're going to do is you are going to go 1 block down, 2 blocks down on one of the ends. Sorry, no. 3 blocks down. You're going to go 3 blocks down or 2 blocks up on one of the ends. And then you are going to use your builder's ruler with an infinite dirt wand, and you're going to right click like this. Now that looks stupid, right? Well, I'll show you why this is actually really clever, because then you can go here and right click, right click, right click, right click, and then you just go ahead and run across with your magical water bucket. You do that with 9 fields, plenty of sugarcane, more than you'll ever need. And here's what's cool about this new update. The basket of seeds now works on sugarcane. So you can just plant that all the way across. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, what's next? Let's see, go to the desk. Let's check our garden milestones. Let's talk cactus. Cactus is also pretty straightforward. So the way we're gonna do cactus is we're gonna go to, we're gonna grab some sand, and I'm gonna do this in 2 pieces. Obviously you can grab as much sand as you want at once if you're actually building this. And you are going to do, remember you have a flat dirt platform because you weren't stupid, and you're just gonna go sand, sand, space, sand, sand, space, sand, sand, so on and so forth. And fun fact, if you then grab your cactus, and you put it into your basket of seeds, it will actually plant it every other. I think this may use, nope, it doesn't even use up cactus. It will literally plant your cactus every other because you can't place cactus right next to it. And that's it. All you have to do is plant it like this and you'll have your planted cactus. Now, not everyone likes this particular design. I like it because I can fly and break 2 cactus at a time. And I think that's pretty darn fast. Some people like 4 at a time. Some people like 3. Some people like to walk and do like a half slab here. But I really like this flying 2 at a time system. It seems to work pretty well. You seem to be constantly breaking a block and it's pretty fast. The other nice thing is that you don't take cactus damage, so you don't need to worry about it as long as you have the right height because of this little pixel of sand between the cactus and you. So you're just going to go across and you're going to break it. Now, fun extra trivia. If you have a cactus knife or whatever you're using to break cactus, put smelting touch on it so that you can actually get cactus green. Hint, hint, wink, wink. All right. Next we have cocoa. So cocoa is actually, again, super simple, but it's simple because of this builder's ruler. And this is why I love this, because it just makes farms building so much easier. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your flat dirt floor. You're gonna grab 1, and then you're gonna grab, 2 high cocoa. You're gonna go ahead and grab your agronomy sack, grab some cocoa beans, stick some cocoa beans in there, and look at that, you can auto plant cocoa. This is so awesome. Oh man, so much cocoa was planted by hand, so much, guys. And so I'm going to show you how to break this by going to the cocoa farm on my own island. I built this before there was the garden, obviously. It makes me very sad when I think about how much time I spent building it, placing it by hand, because I didn't have a build ruler. And you're just going to fly over it like this and break it. Now there's other cocoa farm designs. You can go kind of like a 6-block high where the first 2 blocks aren't real and then you have cocoa above it. I like this design, super easy, super simple to build, very effective because you're always breaking blocks as you're flying. Very fast. I've, won plenty of, not won, but like done well in farming contests without like any effort. It's great. This is really works really well. Anyway, that is how your cocoa farm is going to work. And you're just going to do jungle wood, space, space, jungle wood, space, space, jungle wood, so on and so forth. So finally, we come to my least favorite crop. I honestly, I have no intention of building this farm. I think it's really annoying. But I'm going to show you the plot. The automatic plot is actually not too bad for this. So and I'll tell you how you can change it. So you can take this design and you can layer above it. And I'll tell you about how you do it. First off, for a mushroom farm, you really want to maximize your length on this because you're going to want to let it grow for a long time and then farm it. And because you only get like 1 row of harvestable for every like 3 or 4 rows of farm, you definitely want to maximize the size of this as much as possible. So the way they do it is actually not too bad because of how mushroom growth works. It's very complicated, but these guys are basically seed mushrooms. You never break them. You just always break this side. Now, this design that they have here with the colors that are always in the same kind of row are nice because then you can use the fungi cutter, which gives you 30% more mushrooms as long as you're on the right selected brown versus red mushroom. They use podzol here. Podzol is not something you can obtain very easily, so I would recommend using mycelium instead, much easier. And the farm design is going to be very simple. You're just going to take your mycelium, and you can actually do this within your 4x4 if you, well, no, you really can't because they'll spread out of it. So you actually have to build like a separate thing, or you can convert your giant dirt plots into mycelium by just putting mycelium in light sources. But again, it's kind of a pain in the butt. I'd probably just build this guy from scratch, I guess. I don't know. I don't like any of mushroom farming. But the idea is you're gonna put a line. You're gonna grab more mycelium. Or in your case, you'll just be able to use, you know, a full thing because you're not going to have connected plots. You're going to grab some more mycelium. And then you're going to go ahead and place these guys. And then you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Place these guys. And you're going to go all browns on one side, all reds on the other side. And then you can either leave 2 spaces. That's what they do because of the way they grow. So I think 2 spaces is best here. If you alternate, like instead of going brown, red, you go like brown, red, red, brown. You can put them closer together, but you end up like losing out. There's a couple ways maybe to improve this. If you have any suggestions, put them in the comments. But honestly, I would just probably tile this farm over and over again. All right, guys. So that is how you build all of the farms. If you want to get really clever with the mushrooms, if you have them on mycelium and have a light source, then they will never go onto the dirt, but the dirt will become my, anyway. All right. Anyway, there's ways to get clever with mushrooms. I'm not going to talk about mushrooms anymore. So that's how you build all of the farms, and that's how you make these massive structures that I've here. Like, guys, this is so easy. It took me like barely any effort at all. All I did was make it once, copy and paste it, and then lightly modify it to do everything else. I highly recommend the builder's ruler. That will make your farm building 1,000 times easier, especially for things like sugarcane. If you remember, we placed this guy here to build our like sugarcane base on, and then we can just get rid of him like that, like shift right click, like that's it. That's all it took. It makes it so much easier. So if this video helped you, if you think the garden is cool, if you like people who are named Thorpian, please leave me a like, please subscribe to my channel, and let me know what guide you want to see next in the comments down below. Thank you. Bye.